Hi everyone, it's Zach Beck here. I hope all is well and you're having a great day so far. With that being said, today I want to talk to you about the 401k. A 401k is something that's talked about a lot in society, yet many of us don't even know what it actually is. You might think it represents $401,000. You might think that it's some sort of algorithm that is used to calculate finances. Whatever it might be, in your mind, the importance I think for today is for us to be able to understand what it truly is. Now, before we dive into the details, I think it's important to understand why should we even be focused on investing for retirement long term. Now, it's something that you might think, well, right now I don't have the money to do so, nor the time to do so, nor the idea of how to do so. But I would suggest that right now is as good of a time as ever to be able to consider how to set yourself up for a financially secure future. Now, 401k is simply one approach that you can take. There's also a Roth IRA, there's an SEP 401k, a traditional 401k, a Roth 401k. Now, we're just going to focus on what a traditional 401k is in this video, but it's also important to understand there's a broad range of things that you can do that I cover in other videos that you can check out as well. But when it comes down to a traditional 401k, it's simply an account that you open up through your employer where you contribute on a bi-weekly or monthly basis and put money into this account, and through that account you invest into the stock market. And in doing so, that money then grows over time and you're able to take it out at the age of 59 and a half. Now, a traditional 401k allows you to contribute up to $19,500 on an annual basis into this account. Now, I want to really be clear here, the 401k is not the investment itself, it's simply the vehicle or the account that you or I use to put the money into to then invest into the stock market. Now, depending upon your employer, you might actually receive a match from them when it comes to the money that you put into this account. If your employer matches a 401k, I would strongly consider taking that match. What it means is that for every dollar that you would put in, your employer would match $1, and then those $2 get invested. It's basically like getting free money, so it's something I would strongly consider if your employer offers this approach. Now, once you've opened up a 401k, you're putting in what's called pre-tax money. What pre-tax money means is it's automatically being deducted out of your paycheck and immediately being placed into this account. Therefore, taxes haven't touched it. Now, if you're in a high tax bracket now, and if you want to invest into a 401k, it's a great way to lower your tax liability because you're not going to pay taxes on it until you reach the age of 59 and a half or whenever you take that money out of your account. You have to do so by the age of 70 and a half. So whatever you're looking at doing, a 401k is one approach towards investing in your retirement. I wish someone had told me this when I was a little bit younger. When I first worked my first job at a place called Surf Ride, I was there, I would sell surfboards, and I remember them talking to me and saying, hey, there's this 401k possibility. And I honestly had no idea what they're talking about. I was a teenager at that time. I thought, you know what, I want to save the extra money I have and buy another surfboard or spend money on something different. I didn't have the wherewithal or the strategy at that time as a teenager to realize, oh, if I were to put this money in now, it's going to grow over time and be there when I'm older. And I think that's a trap that many of us fall into, whether we're young or we're in our 20s or 30s or 40s, whatever it might be. But I would suggest that if you're able to fully grasp and understand what a 401k is, it's something you should really consider as one approach towards your broader strategy for retirement. So if you were to take your money, place into a 401k account, then you actually have to decide where is that money going into the stock market. Now, the approach I like to take, and I want to really stress that anything I'm sharing with you right now is not financial advice. It's basically just the strategies that I use, but you can utilize your own critical thinking skills and do your own research and make the best decisions for yourself. I just want to stipulate that, I just want to share the strategies that I specifically use. And one of those strategies would be what's called investing in index funds. Now, an index fund is basically a group of stocks that track either the entire stock market or track a specific index like the S&P 500. So the way this works is when you put money into an index fund, that money then grows in accordance with how the stock market performs. So if you watch TV, if you see the news and you see this little ticker where the money goes up in the stock market, you might have been asking yourself, well, how do I, as a normal person, actually make money off of that? Well, if you were investing in the broad stock market, your money would be your investment would be tracking the stock market. Therefore, if the stock market goes up, the index goes up. If the stock market goes down, the index goes down. And that's why if you're looking at a long-term strategy for investing in your retirement, an index fund is a wise thing. Because over the last 100 years, the index of the stock market in the United States has returned on average, adjusted for inflation with your dividends reinvested, approximately 7% on an annual basis. That means that every year it grows approximately 7%. There will be some years when it grows significantly higher and some years when it actually is negative or goes low. So if you have the wherewithal and understanding to know that this is a long-term strategy, you put your money into an index fund and allow it to grow over time, and it will on average return 7%. Now, all that being said, there might be other approaches you could take that could get you a higher rate of return, investing in a mutual fund or investing into an individual stock, but I'm just telling you the strategies that I have employed. I don't want to look down at anyone else who uses a different approach. I'm just saying this is something that I use because it's simple, it has a long track record, and for me, it's basically automated. I know that I don't have to think about it. I'm not going to worry about it until later on down the road when I'm actually reaching retirement age. So there are various vehicles or various companies that you could look at. One of the companies is called Vanguard. Now I want to be really clear here, I don't have any financial connection to them or to any of these other companies I'm going to refer to, but basically Vanguard has a long track record and history of having strong index funds that are connected to the stock market, that are also connected sometimes to international stocks, as well as if you're looking to have bonds to kind of balance out your portfolio. Warren Buffett suggests having a ratio of 90% stocks to 10% bonds. So that is exactly what I have when it comes to the money I place into my 401k and how I invest in pretty much all of my other accounts. So what I would suggest is look at what your employer offers. If they offer a match and you're thinking about going and investing in your retirement, do it. Now, there are many benefits of a 401k, but there are also some downsides, so I just want to be really clear with you about what those are. Once you put money into a 401k, you cannot touch it until the age of 59 and a half. If you take any of the money out from your 401k account before the age of 59 and a half, you will pay a 10% penalty as well as the taxes on that money. So it's almost as if it wipes out any reason for having that money in the account altogether. So thinking about it this way, if you're putting money into a 401k, you have to realize that this is a long-term investment. Now I've talked about in other videos, and I will talk about a little bit here, the Roth IRA is something you could look at where you can actually touch the money that you've put in or the principal that you've put in, but that is just another approach you can take in addition to a 401k for your retirement and for setting yourself up for a strong financial future. In addition to that, once you've taken the money out, you're going to pay taxes on the money after the age of 59 and a half. Therefore, if you're in a slightly higher tax bracket now, it's great to put money into a 401k. However, if you're expecting to be in an even higher tax bracket at the time of retirement, you really just want to be aware of the fact that you will pay that level of tax on the money you take out of your 401k. So you'll want to factor that into your equation when you think about the age of retirement and how much money you will actually end up with. Now, with all that being said, we have to consider once again why you want to do any of this and how does this even help you right now in the present, because quite frankly, it's much easier to get caught up on the things that we need to do. Many of us live paycheck to paycheck, and it's difficult to figure out, do I want to be spending this money now to basically pay myself later on down the road? So if you think about it this way, when you're able to get control of your finances and think about them long term, then it enables you to make wiser decisions in the short term, because now you know that the money that you've placed away is going to be there when you're able to receive it at the age of retirement. Therefore, when you're living right now, you can be more intuitive about how you approach it in the present and actually a bit more relaxed because it's somewhat automated. The way I use this approach is I invest into a Roth IRA, I also invest into a 401k, and I have a pension through my position at work, and I also do other investments as well outside, and I'll talk about those in a different video. But all that being said, I just want to suggest that as you're thinking about retirement, a traditional 401k is one vehicle you can use to set yourself up for success in the future. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have more questions or comments that you want to share with me, I'd be more than happy to answer in more detail or greater detail anything you'd like to ask. So feel free to comment down below. below. Feel free, if you don't mind, liking this video. I'd love to have that. It does help me out for the YouTube algorithm. And really, I just appreciate the time you're taking right now to consider how to be wise and how you can set yourself up for success moving forward. And that really brings me a lot of joy if I can help out in any way, shape, or form contributing to that. So thank you again for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.